Alrighty, seems like I'm live. So, before I start, I wanted to let you know what I'm gonna do today. Most probably I'm gonna do 1 or 2 examples of the LeetCode problems. Probably some surfing the web. And if I have time, I think I might do some deep learning or maybe even something that's more critical to my that's more important to me as a full stack developer in the future. So let's do this. Let's start this. Merge sorted array. Okay, it's working. I think it is. You are given 2 integer arrays, nums1 and nums2. Nums1 and nums2, and they are sorted in non-decreasing order, and 2 integers m and n representing the number of elements in nums1 and nums2 respectively. So we need to merge these 2 arrays into a single array sorted in non-decreasing order. The final sorted array should not be returned by the function, but instead be stored inside the array nums1. To accommodate this, nums1 has a length of m plus n, where the first m element denote the elements that should be merged, and the last n elements are set to 0 and should be ignored. Nums2 has a length of n. Okay, so it's an easy question. So what topics do we have? Companies. I can't see this. Okay, I have some similar questions. I have hints. I won't use hints. Acceptance rate 51%. There are some solutions which I most probably can't. I can access. Okay, I won't take a look. What's the editorial? Okay, I have no idea what the editorial does. All right, I'm gonna use Python. Yes. So you are giving 2 integer arrays, nums1 and nums2, sorted in non-decreasing order, and 2 integers m and n representing the number of elements in nums1 and nums2 respectively. So let me just put this here. Oops. Let me just center my tablet. This should be fine. So what does it say here? So we have merge sorted array number 88. Alrighty, 2 integer arrays we have nums1 and nums2. They are sorted already, so nums1 is, for the sake of the example, is 1 2 3 0 0 0, and nums2 is 2 5 6. Okay, so we have 2 integers. They represent the number of elements respectively, so we need to merge them, sorted in non-decreasing order. The final sorted array should not be returned by the function, but instead be stored inside the array nums1. To accommodate this, nums1 has a length of m plus n, where the first m elements denote the elements that should be merged, and the last 10 elements. All right. So here are the inputs. This is the output. Then we have another example. Okay, so the length of nums1 is n plus n. The length of nums2 is n. I don't understand what this does. can you come up with an algorithm that runs in O(n plus n time? All right, I'll take this in consideration as well, but let me understand what the constraints are doing. Okay. So I'm just gonna turn this off for a moment. Okay, so these are the constraints. I have the length of the first array, the length of the second array is equal to n, the length of the first array is equal to n plus n, which is the number of elements in the first and the second array. So the number of elements in each array can range from 0 to 200. The total number of elements is between 1 and 200. And this is the range of elements. So I will always have two arrays. nums1 will have extra space to accommodate elements from nums2, and nums2 will contain elements. All right. So how can I merge these arrays? What is the best way to do this? Oops. I haven't done examples like these in a long time. So what I can do here is I can work directly on the nums1 array, or I can create a new one, iterate through both of these arrays. So let me just think about this. All right. Okay, so the question is how to merge two sorted arrays in place. We need to modify the first array without creating a new array. All right. So if I go like this, 1, 2, 0, 0, 0. All right, and we also need to see how we can make it so it runs in n plus n time. So each element should be processed only once. All right. So this is m. This is n, and this is m plus n minus 1. I think I know what I can do here. So, okay. So I'm going to compare. And I'm going backwards. I'm going from M all the way here, and I'm going from N all the way here to the start. And I'm gonna compare these two, but I'm gonna put the bigger one of them here. All right, so first I compare these two. I'm gonna put the 6 here. Then I move this one backwards. I'm comparing these two. I'm gonna put the 5 here. So I'm comparing these two now, the 3 and the 2. And I'm gonna put the 3 here. Now I move this pointer backwards. I'm comparing 2 and 2. I'm gonna put 2 here, and the rest should be done by itself. Okay, so let's see. There are also some edge cases that I need to take care of, but let's see how I can do this. All right, so I'm gonna create the pointer for n minus 1 and from n minus 2, and I need the big pointer is gonna be m plus n minus 1. This also minus 1. I don't know why I put. Okay, so based on what I wrote here, I'm gonna if you take a look here, sorry, based on what I wrote here, so the edge case is when either m or n reach 0. So actually both of them. So I'm gonna write here while p1 is greater than 0 and p2, where's my, is it, what? Greater than 0. All right, so if nums p1 is greater than nums p2, what should I do? I'm gonna put nums of p. So if I had, all right, let me just remove this, and let's say instead of, I have a 7 here. So once I compare m with 10, I'm gonna move this guy here, and otherwise I'm gonna move this guy here, and I'm gonna reduce their indices by 1. All right, so this will be nums. Sorry, this is nums 1 and this is nums 2. This is nums 1, this is nums 1, it's gonna be p1. And I'm gonna then reduce this by 1. Otherwise, this is gonna be nums 2 p2 1. I'm also gonna reduce p by 1 here, and that's it. Will this work now? Run. There's some invalid syntax. What's invalid here? What's invalid here? Invalid syntax. What is invalid here? Do I need to use AND maybe? Are they really gonna make me use... Oh shit, I forgot that I have my... Okay, oh, there's one case that isn't working. And what is this case doing? So it has 0 and the second one has 1. Okay. Let me go back to the drawing board. So I have here the other case says nums1 is 0 and nums2 is 1. The length of this is 0, the length of this is 1. So I'm gonna do the same thing I have as 0 here, 1 here. This is m, this is n. No, actually m doesn't exist here. Because m is 0, m plus n minus 1 is what? Is 0. Alright. So what happens here? So if 0 is greater, otherwise we have that element in this array is 1 and it's greater than 0, which is found here. So in this case, why is this not working? I'm not understanding it pretty well. Why is this not working? So wait, what do I have here? I have two arrays. M is 0 and n is 1. So my P1. Okay, I understand it. So my P1 will be -1 and my P2 will be 0 and my P will be m plus n 0. So as long as P1 is greater than or equal to 0 and P2 is greater than or equal to, so we don't even enter this loop. So I need to create another loop. Oops. I need to create another loop that says the following. While P2 is greater or equal than 0, so P2 is greater, yeah, P2 is 0, so it's greater or equal than 0, so I need to put the P, which is 0, it's here, it's gonna be what? P2, right? Then I reduce P2 by 1. And then I reduce P by 1. I think this is gonna work. Yeah. Now if I submit it, I did it. Nice. Alright, so my runtime is quite fast, but my memory for some reason, where am I? I'm here. I used a lot of memory here. Is this random? What are some solutions? Can I look at some solutions now when I... So here it says a simple solution post-coding exercise. To pointer. Alright, let's see this guy. We are given two sorted arrays, nums1 and nums2 of sizes m and n respectively. So I already solved this. I just wanted to see what other solutions are there. Wow. Wow, that's humbling. His solution is really small. So but why is he using built-in methods? Why is he doing this? I mean, this is a valid solution. I'm just saying. All right, now this is similar to what I did, I assume. Yeah. All right. Simple. Let me reload it. Let's do remove duplicates from the sorted array. All right. So let me read this. Given okay, so let me turn this on. Move it here. This is gonna be 26. I'm just gonna randomize some colors here. So I have a couple of them to work with. Okay, so it says here, remove duplicates from sorted array. It's number 26. All right. This font color reminds me of the Play-Doh, when you take all of those colors that you have and you mash them together, and you think you're gonna get like a really weird, cool color, but you get something like this. Okay, we have nums. Sorted. We need to remove in place. So in place. Such that each unique element appears only once. Then return the number of unique elements. All right. Why do all of these coding example sites with problems and shit, they are so overly descriptive for some reason? Oops, I'm sorry. All right, so I have some arrays. Is there an example here somewhere? Yes. So I have these examples, so I need to return this. And this is the second example. Okay. All right, let me think about this for a moment. All right, what if I go backwards? So it needs to be done in place. Wait. This is a pretty simple example. I need a more complex one. Maybe this one. 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4. And I'm supposed to get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many empty elements? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay, so we need to use two pointers, I assume. I think we need to use 2 pointers. Let me take care of this. So this is going to be the first element. This is going to be the element that we are comparing against. So this is where we are going to write the unique element. And this is where we are going to iterate through the array. Alrighty. Let's see if this is. So this is gonna be right. It's gonna be 0, and I is gonna be 1. So while I is greater or equal than nonce length minus 1, print I. Let me just see what will happen here. No, die. The print. The print was incorrectly written. What? I hate this. It should be like this. But where can I see my print statement? Test result, test case. Where can I see? Wait. It's supposed to be less than equal. All right. Oh shit, every time I forget to turn off my... Okay, I'm just creating a loop here. Think about 1, 2. Okay. Okay. So if nums on the I is different than nums on right, we do something, otherwise we do something else. So wait, let me just open my tablet again just to make sure. So if I had 1 here, so if they are different, I'm increasing my right index to be here, what's happening now? I forgot to increase E by 1. And I should return here, right? Right plus 1. What? That's it. Is this working? Okay, I like this. So, but why? How is he? Analyze complexity, what I... All right, but how is he beating me on memory? For example, this guy. No idea. I have no clue how is he beating me. Let's see what's new on Hacker News. It says here, AI helps researchers dig through old maps to find lost oil and gas wells. Egoless engineering. My son used plain JavaScript to make a game, and what's your feedback? God. People like this are giving me complex issues. Like a 9-year-old building something and writing a game. Wow. Two computer. You know what is a great place where you can learn a lot? It's G on 4chan, but it isn't exactly the prettiest place in the world. Reddit. So what if I go here? Angular and Angular 2. Wait. Angular 2. I'm working currently in Angular 2, so I want to see what's new there, and I'm gonna join this community. Let's see what's the best thing, the best discussions in the last week. So what else do I have here? Egoless engineering. Fish have a brain microbiome. Could human have one too? Who wants to be hired? The zoology and biochemistry of xenomorphs from the Alien franchise. Wow. So what is the Curse of Markdown? We can think of content websites on a scale from lean to rich. A good example of a lean content website is nut.org. It's just text with minimal styling. Wow. I mean, it's impressive that this dude has the nut.org domain. Ah, so he was the CEO of GitHub. Okay. Working on reading the Herculaneum Papyri. What's this? Oh, interesting. So, not Friedman. Okay, so Xamarin. Ah, I worked in Xamarin. It's a what's the name of this? It's a framework. Okay. So a lean content website is nut.org. Okay, a great example of a rich content website is Tailwind CSS landing page. Let's see what's a rich website. Why is she? Okay, so they are changing the code. Damn. Tailwind slaps. I never worked with it personally on a real project, but it's a great thing. But basically, it just comes back to the overburdening of the HTML by CSS classes. But now these CSS classes are descriptive, so that's the difference. It uses interactive examples, animations, and engaging visuals to highlight how Tailwind CSS works and what it can do. Making the site cleaner by removing these rich elements would make it harder to visitor to understand. Okay. So what else can we find along the spectrum from lean to rich? Static blogs, documentation website, visual essays, explanations, interactive tutorials. The content richness sweet spot. For each piece of content, there is a sweet spot of richness. The perfect richness level depends on how complex the content is. Not enough richness makes it harder for the author to express their ideas and for the reader to understand them. And too much richness requires extra effort from the author and leads to more distraction. Yeah. I'm trying to understand whether this is trying to praise Markdown or not. Don't be a Markdown purist. Even John Gruber, the creator of Markdown, is not a Markdown purist. Go look at the Markdown source of his blog and you will see that he frequently just uses raw HTML. He doesn't even do multi-paragraph order listing. So, nah, I don't know what to say about this. I'm not very impressed with this article, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I agree. The impact of Markdown becomes clear if you plot a random sample of content websites. The data is made up based on my perception of the state of the web. Okay, it makes sense that your perception of the web has driven you to create a new tool and market it with a think piece, but to expand that to suggest you have effectively realized and filled a new vector space in the web is successor. These websites are not only a joy to read, but also the ones that explored. Nah. This is a pretty bad example, right? It is the landing page for some web framework or whatever that shows you it can make overcomplicated websites by being itself an overcomplicated website. It's being good at its job in some sense, no matter what it does, because the thing it's showing is the thing is that it does. Everyone else, so another comment, everyone else in the world, and I mean everyone who's not a software engineer, does not use Markdown. I agree. Even software engineers don't use Markdown as often as they like. There's a reason for that, and it's not because they're all stupid and software engineers are all geniuses. It's because normal people do not want to spend their day wasted in minutia, carving out huge chunks of technical jargon just to get some word on a page to show it a certain layout or format. They want to highlight some text and click the bold button, or maybe Control B, and see the text become bold. They don't want to write code. They want to just make a fucking document so they can get on with their day. So programs are doing this for 40 years now, and they are called word processors. But software engineers are so insanely out of touch, so cluelessly locked into their web browsers. Okay, they literally cannot imagine a universe in which a person isn't writing code to get some text to show up on a screen formatted and laid out. It literally feels like everyone in this industry is insane. I mean, I'm still unsure what this is all about. Markdown has its limits. Beyond a certain level, Markdown stops being helpful and the cost of building remains as high as before. I love the discussions here. They are so they're like a little passive aggressive, but they are still somewhat respectful. Normal people don't type at all. But if you find the most normal internet forum you can think of, like 4chan, one where people talk about car parts or who the Kardashians are dating or something, you'll find it has some kind of text markup format. And the most prolific users of that forum use the markup form rather than the what you see, what you get that the craps up their formatting too much. And if you ever find a topic with, but forums are so 2008. Who uses forums nowadays? I mean, I use them, but here it says if you find the most normie internet forum. Now that's an oxymoron because normie and forum they don't work together. Yeah, I agree with it. For Instagram is amazing for. Okay. Okay, it's an interesting discussion here. Who's hiring? What are people doing here? We are building open source solutions to unify real-time batch data integrations. What are you doing? Using Python. Connector development kit. Absent Labs. Senior data engineer. All right, I think I'm gonna read this at a later stage. The most angular thing in the world is to write their release notes on Medium. Are they really doing this still? The real release notes are on GitHub. Medium is for marketing announcements because most of the enterprise folks hang out there. Not a big deal, but yeah, I personally don't like it either. It would be great to see a native Angular based tech team blog demoing hybrid rendering possibilities and stuff, kinda dog fooding the latest and the greatest in the framework developments. Oh, is this a rant on standalone? On standalone components? I fucking hate. I mean, I don't care. I don't hate. I just want to see. Wait, to open all of this. Best Angular tricks learned in 2024. Let's see. This GitHub issue has been open for 8 years. All right. All right, so this GitHub issue has been open for 8 years. Even after 8 years, there is still no HMR support by default. And even in the latest docs, they have mentioned JavaScript-based hot, so it's hot module replacement. So what it does, as much as I know, is it allows you to update modules without requiring a full page reload. So basically, I think I did come across this issue a couple of times. We have an environment, a list of environment flags, and they are kept in a separate file external from our application. So what is happening once we update the flag, the application isn't rendered again. So we need to do this manually. Oops, I'm sorry. But how it works and what it does, yeah. Most probably when we update a component CSS or SCSS file, the changes should reflect immediately in the browser without a page reload. So this is even more important than the environment flags that we are having. I don't know, you change a button's color and we should instantly change the color without reloading the page. Does this work out of the box in React? Is anyone /pickle? Hey, I have no idea what this means. So Angular 19, we got styles, hot module reload, and external templates hot module reload that should be enabled with a flag. Inline template hot module reload looks like it will come a bit later. All of these should have this enabled by default. This causes a lot of issues like memory leaks, only if implemented incorrectly. This is the main reason we moved to another framework. This is the main reason we are switching to React. Full HMR is a must. Okay. Seems like they are going to implement it in the next version. Dealing with forms in Angular. Okay. So what is the question saying here? We are migrating an old Angular JS app to the latest version. Oh God. We did this in 2018 and it was a pain in the ass. So this involves forms, nothing too fancy, some validations here and a few dynamic fields there. The Angular docs on reactive forms contain this one statement that really gets to me. There are more reactive forms are more scalable, reusable, and testable. Alright, I haven't seen this claim proven in practice, at least not yet. Maybe I haven't encountered the right use cases, but so far I'm just trying to justify the hype. In most cases, the form modules in our application align closely with the data models we want to represent in the UI, but with reactive forms I'm forced to write an insane amount of boilerplate. Agree, and I find this utterly painful. Sure, we could write utility functions to auto-generate the form models from our data model, but why bother? What's the actual benefit? Okay, when template-driven forms do the job just fine, reduce the amount of code you write, and also integrate seamlessly with Angular new signals. Okay, so before I start explaining this, so let me just show you the difference. Template-driven forms Angular. So basically, template-driven forms are defined directly in the template using directives such as ng. Can I see an example here? Yeah, so using directives such as ng model, and so the logic is highly connected with the template here. What it does, it uses, I think, two-way data binding. So you get data to the ng model, to the template, and you get data back to the component itself. Now, a negative of this is, I think, the way we validate data. If you have simple validation, it's gonna work perfectly. But if you have more complex validations now, template-driven forms might stutter a bit. Sorry. So it might stutter a bit. So everything is mostly in the template. That's it. So we just basically connect the property that we want to the template, two-way data binding, and everything works out of the box. Now reactive forms, they need to import. Where the fuck are you? Is this it? No. Can I give an example of it? Wait. Stack Blitz Angular template driven forms versus reactive forms. Okay. I think this should be descriptive enough. Template. NG model. Yeah. So this is the NG model, the username and the user password. And if you come to the component itself, you're gonna see it's pretty lean. There is mostly nothing there. But when we talk about reactive forms, sorry, why is there nothing here? Why? I fucking hate this. Wait. Reactive versus template driven forms in Angular 14. Okay. So this is okay. So these are the login logic is implemented using reactive forms. So they are defined programmatically. And if you see our component, there is some boilerplate here. You have the form builder, you have the form group, you have the validators, you have the ng form. So we need to explicitly bind it using the form control name in the template directly. The good thing is that we have these expressive validators, so we can compose multiple validators. We can, and we also have some that are built-in, baked in Angular framework, and we have some that are that can be constructed from scratch. So also here we can create expressively our models explicitly. So we have full control over the form state and structure. Okay. All right. So this basically at like a big picture of templates. So all these comments are about reactive forms being bad is wild to me. I love reactive forms. You know, there's a lot of boilerplate. I mean, not even a lot of boilerplate involved. You need to import some modules and you need to create some data structures, and that's it. Like this guy, you only need to create this guy once and it's gonna work. Unless this is secretly RxJS hate. That would make sense if so many devs only get a surface level understanding of RxJS, then get frustrated. Okay, you define an interface for your form. And this is a positive, I forgot to mention this. So basically you have an interface, so it's gonna make your code more secure and safe. And then you instantiate it, set of validators, populate in one go, or patch it with that. Yeah, you can also patch it. I forgot, you can patch it programmatically later on if you need to patch it programmatically later on. They are easy and intuitive if you know RxJS. Yeah, so basically what could happen as well is we can come here and I can say this reactive reactive form controls, I don't know, name. Why is this not working? Is it controls? Why is controls not working? How can I access an individual control? Let me see. What? Wait, I just wanted to show you how you can subscribe. How we can pick an individual control using the get method. We need to use get. So it's not control. So I need to use get name. It's like this. And now I can put here get value changes. Now I can put a pipe. I can tab. I can console log whatever we put in here. Come on, import it's automatically. Now I can subscribe. Now if I open the console, will this, do I need to save this? So I need to use the get method on the either on the form group, this is the form group, or the form array, and then I subscribe to value changes. Once we have the control, like here, I'm just subscribing. Maybe I should increase the size of this. Then I'm subscribing to value changes. So now if I go here, if I name f 4 bar, so I can basically do manipulations directly, or I can use it for I don't know, any other purpose that I need. And you can easily create reusable chunks of form that use this is also quite important. You can basically create separate form components that you can just plug and play with them in your forms. Alright, we have form builder. Reactive forms are one of the best parts of Angular. Yeah, I agree. For simple forms with less than 4 fields, no validation, or responding to events, I'll probably use a template driven form. I agree. Use a different form library. So you can, wow, you can use, I never knew that you can use different form libraries for this. Okay, interesting. I've been working in Angular since version 2, literally 8 years. I also been working in Angular since version 2. Yeah, fucking 8 years, man. Shit. Time passes. Time is a motherfucker. So I have been slow to use standalone components though. I understand the benefits with tree shaking and DX. What else? But damn if I can't stand importing the same few common modules into so many components. I agree. I fucking agree. So we also have been given directives to use standalone components. For every new component should be a standalone one. And I get it interesting. It's easy. I don't need to import it into a module and everything. But oh god, so many shit I need to import. And so many shit is needed. Like even if you want a simple standalone component, I think you at least need to import the common module. You at least need to import, I don't know, ngif, stuff like that. I vastly prefer knowing specifically what my component depends on. It's pretty trivial to add imports to the component. Now this even tool to the okay. People were misusing modules. In approximately half the projects I contributed to, there is some variation of a module named shared module, UR module. Dashboard module, app module. I think we have all of these in our team. The biggest culprit is including every dependency of modules, slide out bottom sheet components in the app module or whatever the root module is named. The documentation for the material model. Okay. So not a lot of people agree with the OP. What are the best Angular tricks or tips you learned in 2024? npm uninstall just. What is Volkswagen? It's like a library for testing. Volkswagen detects when your tests are being run in a CI and makes them pass. Oh god. I discovered class has better performance than energy class. How did you discover this? What? Interesting. Who is hiring? Okay. I need to end it here. I'm really sorry. I'm gonna see you in another one. Bye bye.